In a strange way, I miss that year because all those possibilities that existed then.
It's gone.
A few months before his death, Heath Ledger finished filming his role as the Joker in The Dark Knight. The performance brought him praise and popularity, and more than 30 posthumous awards. Do you know that Heath Ledger's death at the age of 28 wasn't the only shock to his fans? Many were left reeling after a series of shocking secrets about the Joker star were revealed after his death. Initially, many thought the information was just fabrications, but they were shocked once again when Heath Ledger's partner, Michelle Williams, spoke up to confirm the truth. Listen to her every revelation and stay as calm as possible. Heath Ledger, renowned for his remarkable performances and intense charisma, was a force of nature in the world of film. His on-screen presence, akin to a Category 5 hurricane in its intensity, left an indelible mark on audiences and critics alike. Yet behind the magnetic facade, Ledger grappled with profound self-doubt and insecurity, a contrast that highlights the complex nature of his talent and personal struggles, according to his partner, Michelle Williams. Ledger's sense of insecurity was a recurring theme throughout his career. According to Rolling Stone and the documentary I Am Heath Ledger, his agent, Steve Alexander, revealed that Ledger's insecurities were notably evident during the filming of The Patriot. Ledger, who felt he had underperformed in his screen test, was so plagued by self-doubt that he interrupted his audition to apologize, saying, "Sorry, I'm wasting your time." This moment of vulnerability was indicative of his broader struggles with confidence. Alexander noted that Ledger's insecurity was so pervasive that he nearly withdrew from every project he undertook, a testament to how deeply his self-doubt affected him. Director Roland Emmerich, who worked with Ledger on The Patriot, recounted Ledger's nervousness on set. Emmerich attributed much of this anxiety to Ledger's admiration for his co-star, Mel Gibson, an acting hero for Ledger. This added pressure only exacerbated Ledger's internal struggles, making his performance a testament to his dedication despite his fears. Emmerich's observations underscore how Ledger's insecurities were not merely a personal issue, but a significant factor influencing his professional life. Similarly, Gil Younger, director of 10 Things I Hate About You, recalled Ledger's apprehension during his audition. Ledger, feeling that he had blown his audition, was plagued by nerves despite his undeniable talent. Younger's initial impression of Ledger's audition was overwhelmingly positive, noting the actor's palpable energy and charisma. Ironically, Ledger's anxiety about his brief audition stood in stark contrast to Younger's immediate recognition of his potential. In fact, Michelle Williams revealed that his fame made Heath Ledger feel uncomfortable. The release and promotion of A Knight's Tale in 2001 marked a pivotal moment in Heath Ledger's career, not just as an actor, but as a public figure. The film, a quirky medieval rom-com that showcased Ledger's roguish charm, was heavily marketed with the actor's striking good looks at the forefront. This aggressive promotional strategy, centered around Ledger, brought the actor unprecedented attention, but also highlighted his growing discomfort with fame. As reported by Rolling Stone and detailed in the documentary I Am Heath Ledger, Ledger's unease with the spotlight became increasingly apparent during the film's promotional campaign. Steve Alexander, Ledger's agent, revealed that the actor would often be uncomfortable and fidgeting during interviews. Ledger's discomfort was so pronounced that he frequently asked to be excused from interviews for brief moments, a coping mechanism to manage his anxiety about the promotional grind. Alexander described this phase as the time when Ledger felt the most discomfort about his rising fame, indicating a growing strain between his desire for privacy and the public's fascination with him. Ledger's concerns about his public image and career trajectory were deep-seated. He feared that the intense focus on his appearance and rising star power could overshadow his acting skills and limit his professional choices. In his discussions with Alexander, Ledger expressed apprehensions about being cast as a matinee idol, a label he believed could confine his acting range and diminish his credibility as a serious actor. Ledger's primary goal was to be recognized for his craft rather than his celebrity status. Alexander described Ledger's ambition as a desire to be an illusionist, someone who could create compelling, multidimensional characters rather than being pigeonholed by his looks or public persona. This internal conflict between his rising fame and his artistic integrity was not always visible to the public. In 2005, during a particularly grueling press tour, Ledger's frustration became evident when he had to apologize to journalist Catherine Tulish from 7 Network. During an interview, Ledger was seen peeling and eating an orange, which was perceived as a sign of disinterest. Ledger later explained that this behavior was not due to rudeness, but rather exhaustion and hunger after participating in about 60 television interviews in one day. He described himself as hungry and a little dehydrated, providing context for his apparent lack of enthusiasm. This incident highlighted the toll that relentless promotion and media scrutiny took on him, further illustrating his discomfort with the demands of fame. In the wake of Heath Ledger's tragic death on January 22, 2008, a wave of sensational tabloid reports emerged, attempting to link his untimely passing to his intense portrayal of the Joker in The Dark Knight. Outlets like Metro and the Sydney Morning Herald fueled speculation that Ledger's immersive performance had driven him into a dark place, suggesting that his dedication to the role might have contributed to his demise. However, this narrative was quickly contested by those closest to Ledger, who painted a markedly different picture of the actor's final months. Christian Bale, Ledger's co-star in The Dark Knight, was particularly vocal in dismissing these claims. In an interview with Today, Bale expressed his frustration with the insinuations that Ledger's role as the Joker had adversely affected him. He described such reports as very rude for such a tragedy, emphasizing that Ledger's experience while making the film was far from the dark portrayal suggested by the media. Bale noted, "He was having a wonderful time making this movie, and insisted that Ledger's immersion in the role did not manifest as a negative experience." According to Bale, Ledger couldn't have been happier while working on the film. Ledger's family members echoed Bale's sentiments. At a panel event for the documentary I Am Heath Ledger, his sisters Kate Ledger and Ashley Bell spoke out against the portrayal of Heath as being emotionally distressed by his role. They were taken aback by the media's depiction of Ledger as depressed because of the Joker. Kate Ledger clarified, "Honestly, it was the absolute opposite. He was having fun. He wasn't depressed about the Joker." She further elaborated to news.com.au, stating that Ledger was a really happy person who had significant plans for his future, including aspirations to continue his involvement with the Batman franchise. Kate's remarks underscored that Ledger was enthusiastic about his career and had a positive outlook despite the tragic outcome. Despite these counterpoints from those who knew Ledger best, contradictory reports suggested that the actor was struggling with his mental health prior to his death. The complexity of Ledger's situation, balancing a demanding career, personal challenges, and the pressures of fame, remained a point of contention and speculation. The media's focus on the dramatic aspects of Ledger's life and work often overshadowed the more nuanced and personal aspects of his experiences. In the final weeks of Heath Ledger's life, those closest to him observed a deepening of the actor's struggles, which painted a somber picture of his last days. Jerry Grenell, a dialect coach and friend of Ledger's, provided a poignant account of the actor's emotional state during this period. Grenell revealed to People magazine that Ledger was desperately unhappy and desperately sad following his breakup with Michelle Williams. According to Grenell, who had spent time living with Ledger in his apartment, the actor appeared both emotionally and physically exhausted. The intense emotional strain Ledger experienced was compounded by his severe insomnia. Grinnell noted that Ledger would often wander around his apartment, unable to find rest. Ledger's sleep troubles were a significant concern, as reflected in an interview he gave to the New York Times just 2 months before his death. During this interview, Ledger admitted to having slept an average of 2 hours a night, citing his inability to quiet his racing mind as a major factor. This chronic sleep deprivation exacerbated his already intense emotional and psychological challenges, creating a vicious cycle of exhaustion and distress. Michelle Williams, Ledger's former partner, provided further insight into Ledger's long-standing struggle with insomnia. She explained in an interview with Interview magazine that Ledger had battled sleep issues for as long as she had known him. His mind was perpetually active, leading to bouts of insomnia that plagued him regularly. Williams described how Ledger's mind was turning, always turning, illustrating the relentless mental activity that contributed to his difficulties in finding rest. During the filming of The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, Ledger's exhaustion was particularly notable. Director Terry Gilliam recounted to Vanity Fair how Ledger would arrive on set completely knackered due to his lack of sleep. Despite his physical and emotional fatigue, Ledger demonstrated an extraordinary capacity for dedication and passion in his work. Gilliam observed that Ledger would often seem to rejuvenate throughout the day, with his performance shining through by the end of each shooting session. It was like everything was put into the work, Gilliam explained, noting that Ledger's joy and fulfillment were derived from his craft. The actor's commitment to his roles, even amidst his personal turmoil, highlighted his profound love for acting and his ability to channel his struggles into his performances. According to Michelle Williams, Heath Ledger may have had pneumonia before his death. In the weeks leading up to his untimely death, Heath Ledger faced a multitude of challenges that contributed to his profound sense of exhaustion and deteriorating health. One significant factor was his reported physical condition, which was compounded by his intense work schedule and personal struggles. During the filming of The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, Ledger's health issues became apparent. Vanity Fair reported that the actor was diagnosed with the early stages of pneumonia and was advised by medical professionals to return home and rest. This recommendation was part of a broader concern for his well-being, given the physically demanding nature of the shoot and the harsh conditions under which it was filmed. Despite the advice, Ledger was resistant to the idea of taking a break from work. According to Terry Gilliam, the film's director, Ledger was particularly reluctant to leave the set due to his ongoing separation from Michelle Williams. The actor expressed a preference to remain on set rather than be alone at home, where he feared he would be consumed by thoughts of his personal troubles. Ledger's decision to continue working despite his health issues exemplified his commitment to his craft, but it also highlighted a troubling disregard for his own well-being. Christopher Plummer, a co-star in the film, further elucidated the challenging conditions on set. Plummer described how the cast and crew were frequently exposed to harsh, damp conditions while shooting outside during cold nights. This exposure led to widespread colds among the crew, but while others recovered, Ledger's condition did not improve. Plummer noted that Ledger's reluctance to address his health issues promptly, such as not taking antibiotics for his condition, contributed to his prolonged suffering. Ledger's walking pneumonia was a particularly worrisome development, as it indicated a persistent and unresolved infection that exacerbated his overall physical decline. In addition, the immediate aftermath of Heath Ledger's death was marked by a flurry of sensational and conflicting reports about his lifestyle and health. The tabloids were quick to circulate allegations suggesting that Ledger had struggled with drug and alcohol misuse. A particularly damaging article published by the Daily Mail featured Rebecca White, a woman purportedly from Ledger's inner circle, who claimed that the actor was a notorious partygoer with a reckless habit of using cocaine and heroin. White suggested that his substance abuse had significantly impacted his relationship with actress Michelle Williams, his then partner. Compounding these allegations, footage surfaced showing Ledger at an after-party for the 2006 Screen Actors Guild (SAG) Awards. The video depicted the actor appearing to snort a substance resembling cocaine, with Ledger himself discussing his past drug use, including smoking 5 joints a day. The discussion in the video, along with his comments about expecting criticism from Williams for his drug use, further fueled the narrative of Ledger as a troubled figure battling substance abuse. However, amidst these troubling portrayals, another, more nuanced picture of Ledger began to emerge. While tabloids focused on sensational aspects of his personal life, close friends and colleagues painted a different story of a man striving for change and recovery. Nicola Pecorini, a close associate of Ledger, shared insights with Vanity Fair about the actor's efforts to turn his life around. Pecorini revealed that Ledger had made significant changes, particularly after discussions about custody of his daughter arose. According to Pecorini, Ledger was so committed to cleaning up his life that he had stopped drinking altogether, remarking that he was clean as a whistle. This transformation was a testament to Ledger's dedication to improving his health and well-being, driven in part by his responsibilities as a father. David Krumholtz, a friend and colleague, also spoke about Ledger's state prior to his death. In an interview with the New York Times, Krumholtz noted that he had reconnected with Ledger and observed a marked change in the actor's lifestyle. Krumholtz confirmed that Ledger was actively engaged in recovery efforts and was making strides toward better health. This perspective offered a counterpoint to the more negative portrayals in the media, highlighting Ledger's genuine efforts to address his challenges and lead a healthier life. Michelle Williams added Heath Ledger was warned about prescription substances. The tabloid scrutiny that followed Heath Ledger's death was intense and multifaceted, largely revolving around the circumstances of his passing. The focus centered on Ledger's accidental overdose of prescription medications, a lethal cocktail that included painkillers, anti-anxiety medication, and sleeping pills. These substances, while prescribed legally, proved fatal when combined. According to ABC News, the medications involved in Ledger's death were indeed prescribed legally, but the way they were taken together created a dangerous mix. The combination of these substances created a perfect storm of sedative effects, ultimately leading to Ledger's tragic overdose. The legal prescriptions, however, should never have been used simultaneously, as their interaction was particularly hazardous. In the wake of Ledger's death, his father, Kim Ledger, publicly addressed the situation with a heavy heart. He described the tragedy as totally his fault, no one else's, expressing deep regret over his son's choices. Kim Ledger acknowledged the dangers inherent in combining prescription medications, noting that his daughter, Kate Ledger, had previously warned Heath about mixing substances he was unfamiliar with. Heath's response to Kate's concerns was reportedly cavalier, dismissing her warnings with the assurance that he would be fine. Kim Ledger reflected on this attitude with sorrow, explaining that it effectively put his whole system to sleep and contributed to the tragic outcome. In a broader context, Kim Ledger hoped that his son's death would serve as a cautionary tale about the hidden dangers of combining prescription medications, even at low dosages. His statement was a call to raise awareness about the perils of such substance interactions and the importance of caution when managing multiple medications. The concern over Ledger's use of prescription substances was not limited to his family. Actor Jack Nicholson, who had famously played the Joker in Batman, a role that paralleled Ledger's own portrayal of the character, also expressed his concerns about the young actor's use of Ambien, a sleep aid. Nicholson revealed in an interview with The Mirror that he had experienced severe side effects from Ambien himself, including a near accident where he almost drove off a cliff. Nicholson had warned Ledger to stop using the substances due to their dangerous effects, hoping to prevent similar issues for the younger actor. Another complicating factor happened. He was allegedly casually dating Mary-Kate Olsen. Early reports incorrectly suggested that Ledger had been found in Mary-Kate Olsen's apartment, which set off a cascade of speculation about the former Full House star's involvement. The initial assumption that Ledger's death was a suicide only added to the confusion. However, it was later clarified that Ledger was discovered in his own home by a masseuse, and the cause of death was determined to be accidental, resulting from an overdose of prescription drugs. The involvement of Mary-Kate Olsen in the unfolding narrative was particularly peculiar. As the New York Times reported, the masseuse who found Ledger unconscious had made 2 phone calls to Olsen before contacting the police. This detail puzzled many, given the lack of public knowledge about any close relationship between the 2 stars. The situation seemed even more enigmatic because Olsen, a well-known actress and fashion mogul, was not publicly connected to Ledger in any significant way. Speculation about the nature of their relationship was further fueled by reports suggesting that Olsen and Ledger had been casually dating for about 3 months, with their bond reportedly rooted in a shared penchant for partying. This revelation raised eyebrows and intensified the scrutiny of Olsen's role in the situation. It was suggested that their connection might have involved a lifestyle that contributed to Ledger's downfall, though the nature of their relationship remained unclear. Federal officials investigating Ledger's death reportedly sought interviews with various individuals close to the actor. Despite the cooperative attitude of many, Mary-Kate Olsen's response was notably evasive. According to New York Post sources, Olsen had been uncooperative with the investigation, adding to the cloud of suspicion surrounding her involvement. In August 2008, the U.S. Attorney's Office concluded its investigation into Ledger's death. Olsen's lawyer firmly denied any wrongdoing or involvement, asserting that the 21-year-old actress had no connection to the drugs found in Ledger's home. The official stance was that Olsen's connection to the case was limited to being a contact called by the masseuse and that she was not implicated in the circumstances leading to Ledger's death. In a remarkable moment, Michelle Williams opened up about her tearful breakup with Heath Ledger. Their relationship in late 2007 marked a period of significant turmoil for the actor, as he navigated both personal and professional challenges. The public breakup, described as amicable by sources at the time, belied the complexities and tensions that may have been present beneath the surface. According to People magazine, speculation from an unnamed source suggested that the relationship had been rocky for a while before the split. The nature of this rockiness became more apparent after Ledger's death, revealing deeper layers to their separation. In the wake of Ledger's death, further details emerged about the strains in his relationship with Williams. Reports indicated that an irreparable rift had developed between the two, primarily due to Ledger's involvement in a bi-coastal party scene. This lifestyle was reportedly at odds with Williams's desire to shield their daughter, Matilda, from such an environment. According to Today, People's senior editor J.D. Heyman suggested that Ledger's reported drug use was a significant factor in the breakup, as it was seen as incompatible with the responsibilities of raising a child, particularly from Williams's perspective. The impact of the breakup on Ledger was reportedly profound. Filmmaker Terry Gilliam, who worked with Ledger on the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, shared with Vanity Fair that the actor was deeply affected by the split and the subsequent custody battle over Matilda. Gilliam noted that Ledger was overwhelmed by the legal complexities of the custody dispute and was struggling to cope with the emotional and practical challenges it posed. Ledger's efforts to remain decent and graceful in the face of these difficulties were evident, but the situation deteriorated rapidly, adding to his stress and sense of despair. Amidst the turmoil, the possibility of reconciliation between Ledger and Williams was a subject of speculation. Busy Phillips, Williams' best friend and godmother to Matilda, expressed in her memoir, "This will only hurt a little," that she had always believed there was a chance for the couple to work things out. Phillips reflected that it was not necessarily the end of the story for Ledger and Williams, implying that the relationship had unresolved potential. Tragically, Ledger's untimely death left any prospects of reconciliation unfulfilled, and the chance to see whether they might have resolved their differences was lost. What do you think about the shocking details about Heath Ledger? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.